All right. Cool. What's that sound? Well, it might not be the sound you'd normally associate with the police. In 40 out of the 50 states of America, that very well may herald the coming of a mounted state trooper. Hello, my name is Olivia. I am 16 years old, and I'm in the Acton Craft 4-H Club. This is my 8th year in 4-H and my 8th visual presentation. And today I'm here to tell you all about the super duper troopers of my home state of Massachusetts. Today I'll be going over the history of the mounted police in Massachusetts, the basic training and duties. Mounted police have been around for pretty much as long as police and horses have been around. Horses have some advantages over people. They can run further and faster and longer. It's because of this that horses were first used, but they continued to be used even after the advent of the motor vehicle because they can go over far more varied terrain. This is why during inclement weather in the winter or in the spring, the police would borrow horses from either wealthy citizens or from local farmers. However, the use of police horses declined in the 1930s when, first of all, roads became more paved, and second of all, people realized that a car doesn't have to eat, doesn't have to sleep, and doesn't have to poop, and just generally takes less day-to-day maintenance than a horse. So the police car replaced the police horse as the primary mode of transportation. The very last class to actually train with the horses in Massachusetts was in 1936. It wasn't until 1978 that there was an attempt by a Framingham legislator to bring the horses back with a part-time unit that would patrol Walden Pond in Concord. However, due to lack of funding, it was shut down. You can't keep a good idea down, though, and just 4 years later, in 1982, the mounted police were back, this time with a 6-horse full-time unit, which has now doubled in size to 12 horses and is now located on Route 2 in Acton, my hometown. There's a lot of work that must be done before anybody gets to wear the helmet. First of all, the troopers must undergo a rigorous 80-hour training course in order to teach them how to work with the equipment and the horses. This is important because some of the troopers, when they enter the program, have never actually ridden a horse before. The most important part of this training is hours spent in the saddle. Not only does this give them real-world experience, but it also allows them to form a bond with the horse that they will be riding. This bond is crucial for good communication. A horse is a prey animal, which means it's got a very good nose for danger. That's useful when you're a police officer and your job is pretty dangerous. However, a horse is a prey animal and has a very, very good flight instinct. That's less helpful when you're a police officer and your job is often to go towards the dangerous thing. So to make sure that the policeman can trust the horse and the horse can trust the policeman, the horses go through training designed to set off their fear response and give the troopers a little bit of a taste of what it's like to be trying to control a horse that's frightened. This training involves subjecting the poor horses to all sorts of things, loud noises, bright lights and flashing lights, things like smoke grenades, or fireworks, or low-flying helicopters, anything to get the horses a little bit spooked. By putting the horses through this, they figure out which ones are most likely to bolt and allow the horses to be able to work more closely with the troopers. The last thing in training has to do with crowd safety, not with the safety of the horse or the rider, but with the people around it. The horses will play a game, not unlike soccer, but with a beach ball, a horse-sized beach ball. In this game, the horses punt it around with their chests. This gives them a tool to interact with human beings on the ground, especially in large numbers or if they're being hostile, and be able to move them without kicking them, which can be very, very bad for the person on the ground. The reason that all this crowd safety is so important is because many of the duties of the mounted police are strongly rooted in public relations. Let's be completely honest, a policeman is cool, but a policeman on a horse is very cool. And this is why they are asked to all sorts of events, including Boy and Girl Scout events, school events, 4-H events sometimes, and civic events, such as parades and sports games, as well as this image, which is of the Walk for Hunger in Boston. The horses aren't just there to look pretty. They serve as crowd control. Just a line of people, or a line of people on motorcycles or in cars, will not do nearly as well as a line of policemen on horses when it comes to keeping a large number of people in check. As before mentioned, another duty of the mounted police is patrolling. Not only places such as Walden Pond, but pretty much any state or even national reservation. In fact, when patrolling national reservations, the troopers will often pair up with troopers from other states nearby. The last, and maybe most surprising to some of you, duty of the mounted police is in search and rescue. As it turns out, people on horses are pretty good at search and rescue. Why? Well, I'll illustrate. Let's say our poor little girl has gotten lost in the woods somewhere, and we need to go find her. Well, if we send in horses after her, they can not only go longer and further than people on foot, but they're also going to be further up, so they have a higher viewpoint and will be able to see her sooner. But unlike a motor vehicle, they can go over varied terrain, and they're much quieter than the sound of an engine. So if she's calling for help, "I've fallen over and can't get up, somebody help me!" The horse and the rider are going to be able to hear that and zero in on that. Plus, they can carry large amounts of equipment just in case she's fallen over and actually needs medical attention. They can carry the medical supplies for that. And finally, when everything's over and she can go back home, she's going to have a pretty cool story to tell all of her friends about the day that she got saved by a policeman on a horse. Today, I have talked to you about the history of the mounted police in Massachusetts, the basic training undergone by both the policemen and horses, and the duties performed by the mounted police. This concludes my visual presentation. My sources included Trooper Peter Holman of the Massachusetts Mounted Police Division and the national website for state troopers. Are there any questions? Yes.
Have you ever had a super duper trooper work at somewhere you were at?
The question was, have I ever had a super duper trooper work at somewhere I was at? I was actually at the Walk for Hunger. I'm not in this image. I had another image that I was in, but it was not obvious it was a public space, and I didn't want to have it on my table because I thought I might get marked down for having a picture I never used. That means I can't show you the one where I'm in it, but there's a picture of me next to a police horse, and the police horse is very tall and very cool. Yes?
Do you like horses?
Question was, do I like horses? I'm not a big horse person, don't really ride, but I think the state troopers are incredibly cool, and I drive past them quite often and get to see them in the field. Yes?
Where did you get that, well, pardon for my vocabulary, but that radio thingy?
The question is, where did I get the radio thingy? It was in my basement. I have no clue. L.B. Lady in the back says L.B. More questions.
Lady in the back.
Yes. Where did you get that cool tack? The question was, where did I get the cool tack? This is on loan from the amazing Trooper Peter Holman. Did I say that right that time? Yes. He allowed me to borrow this and a little bit more gear, as well as the helmet. He allowed me to borrow the helmet. That was something else. Very cool. That's real gear, though. Yes.
Just out of curiosity, what happened to little Timmy? Why was he replaced by the little girl?
The question was, why was Green Timmy replaced by a little girl? Because I had a little girl doll handy and couldn't find her little girl doll brother. I had a brother, don't know where it went.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah.
But this is the best one I had. It's supposed to be that she can sit up, which is why I chose her. However, during the presentation, she suddenly decided that she'd broken her spine.
And that's why she needed a super duper trooper, though.
That's why she needed a trooper to save.
Thank you.
Oh, one last question.
So really, there are only 12 troopers in Massachusetts?
The question was, are there really only 12 police horses in Massachusetts? There are 12 police horses, and they're in that one barn. I think there's more troopers than just 12. I don't know exactly how many, but there's more. They sometimes switch off, but for the most part, they stick one-on-one with a horse, just because that's the one they've built up a good relationship with. But yeah, it's pretty surprising that that's the only 12, and they go everywhere.
Thank you very much.